Okay, so George, you've got the entire Recon band. Well, not the entire, but a lot of the guys. They're going to be on the show today. Part one of Frontline Rewind, Recon. Tell us about this new thing with Recon that's about to happen.
We're really excited to do this because it's the 25th anniversary of our release Behind Enemy Lines, so that's cool.
Awesome. Here it is, episode 1 with Recon, Frontline Rewind. All right, I'm Les Carlsen. Welcome to Frontline Rewind. I'm here with the guys from Recon. Man, you guys are awesome. First of all, why don't we just start and introduce the guys, starting with Eddie and what you do in the band.
I'm Eddie Starline. I play guitars, background vocals.
All right.
Mike Grato, bass.
Ronson Webster, keyboards, background vocals.
George Ochoa, lead and rhythm guitars.
Arias, lead vocals. Jon Gonzales, drums and percussion.
Todd Libby, keyboards.
All right, guys. Wow. Have you ever been on the road together, and for how long?
For about maybe 30 minutes.
30 minutes on the road? That's just driving between the 7-Eleven and
That's right.
On the way
practice hall?
You take the 5 freeway to,
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
to Gazzari's. That was about it.
Well, at this point, everybody is kind of all over the place, and it's been that way a little bit. Mike's always kind of lived away, like either Arizona, New Mexico, China.
I try to get away from it. I can't stay away, you know.
But he always ends up coming back. But we've never quite been a touring band. We did a lot of LA shows in the early days. We did all the big clubs, like Gazzari's and
Cornerstone.
We did Cornerstone.
That's
we did
right.
Cornerstone
With
one year.
Bloodgood was there too.
We did Cornerstone in Illinois. We did Cornerstone West. So one year they did it.
Oh yeah.
So we've done a lot of shows, but as far as packing in a bus and going on the road, no. But we've done a lot of LA shows, and we've done certain shows here and there.
Yeah. So you haven't really experienced riding on a bus for hours and hours and hours together.
Well, I have not
as
as this band, but in other bands.
Oh, I know, but this band, this particular band, that's why you're still good friends, right?
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty well.
I don't know about
Well, that's actually why we haven't done it, because we want to stay good friends.
Oh, I see. All right, so who's the peacemaker in the group?
that. Me?
That's Eddie.
Eddie?
He's not
Yeah.
really.
Yes.
You
I
instigate.
No, I'm the peacemaker. Shut up.
I think Todd. See, look at that. That's like,
Yeah, okay.
peace, brother, peace.
Well, back in the day, we would, we practiced, I think, before we recorded our first album. It was, George and I really working together on, writing songs and whatnot. And him and I would sometimes butt heads. Sometimes.
Always.
But then, Eddie was always there to kind of, soften the blows. So,
Okay.
yeah, he did a good job at it.
Yeah, I heard some rumor about that you guys were like fire and ice or something.
Yeah, whatever.
That's good. That's that is that creative, tension.
No comment from George.
You gotta have it, right? George, you're looking real like what are they
I
saying?
just know who comes out on top usually. Let's just say it.
Yeah, all right. That's awesome.
Hey,
You're kind
like
of
you say, it's your baby.
you're kind of a leader, right, George?
I like to think of here's one for you. I like to think of Jesus as our leader. And,
There you go.
Good answer.
So you hear directly from him and then tell the others.
That's what he tells us.
What church you go to?
No lie, I actually saw one time I actually saw Richard Roberts going, "Yes, Lord. Yes, I'll tell them, Lord. No, I won't tell them that, Lord. No."
Yeah.
And I went, this guy for real? He's really doing that right now? I mean, like, he's hearing straight from God, and God doesn't speak through anybody in this band. God speaks through his church and through his word, not through his word, but uses his church to spread that word.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I literally think that we're actually nothing without him. There's no value to us, really, without Christ in us.
That's right.
Where we have the grace.
So we're all in agreement. Anybody want to debate that issue and outside of Scripture? Because if you do,
You'll get
it's going to be weird. And then Mike is going to be all over.
That's right. Bring on the thunder.
But Eddie will be there to soften.
That's right. I have to sort it all out.
Yeah, sort it out. So when did you record this one and only album that Recon recorded? What year was that?
89, George?
We recorded
89.
89 because it got released in 90.
Yeah, it takes about a year.
So we did it. We did it at Frontline Studios in Mixing Lab A and B, mainly B because only the really good bands got to record in Mixing Lab A, and we got stuck with this cheap studio.
Did we have to tell the entire world that? Well, yes, because it shows humility.
There are
there you
budgets,
go. Okay,
it's our
we'll
first
take that.
album.
There are budgets, yeah.
And by the way, this was
$10
Frontline before Adele owned it.
All right, Frontline music.
Jimmy Kempner, Frontline.
Okay. Was that a great experience for you guys?
Oh,
We
absolutely.
had a good
Yeah.
time, yeah.
It's a privilege. Somebody had the studio the very next day after us, and we hadn't finished like 2 songs.
One Bad
like that.
Pig.
And no, they weren't on it. But I remember burning the candle at both ends. We're getting Johnny's drums done, and we have some. Actually, if you look at the new CD, do we have a new CD? It sounds serious. Oh, we never took a picture. Anyways, if you look at the picture on the new CD, the reissue, there's a picture of Johnny on there, and that picture is literally him like after playing drums for like 12 hours. He's like exhausted, and because we had to finish before the next people came in. I think we left at like 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning the next morning, and the next people were going to come in at like 8. So
That was you and I.
and you and I too.
We stayed from about 7 o'clock at night till the next morning. You and I only.
Oh, okay.
And I got home. We got there and I had to fly back to Arizona that same morning.
Yeah, that picture of you in there
like
too.
hating it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I mean, you got to do that because people that don't know about studios, once you got the drums set and the mics are up and everything else, you can't tear them down and move them out because then you got to start over. Right. So Johnny, it was a big night for you, huh?
It was. Yeah, I remember. I think
you had to go to work the next
I had to be
day.
at work that same day as well. So
The funny thing is when you hear Johnny playing on the drums, you not only hear his drums, but you hear his voice. And if you listen to it, he's going, you know.
So I keep my
Classic, the way he keeps his meter.
That's cool. You should mic that. It should be a thing.
That was Mike. I remember mixing the drums at one point, and I'm listening to. I soloed just the drums, so I'm hearing the drums, and I'm hearing Johnny's voice, and I look back behind me. I go, I thought Johnny left, and I go, where's Johnny? And it's coming through the mics, and it's like as he's going, I'm going, oh my god!
All right, so that's on the Recon.
That's on the record. If you can listen really closely, you'll hear it.
Okay, so then I would assume then that it's also on Worldview as well.
No, we
kind of.
Oh, did you muzzle him or something for that?
Yeah, we put a muzzle on him.
Put a muzzle on him. Okay, Johnny.
Yeah, there you go.
We've
Let's
had
go
enough
with
of
that
that.
story. Let's go with that
Machine.
story. We put a muzzle on him.
Yeah.
Nice electronics, right?
Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be bad if he was totally tight within himself. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, Mike,
Yes, sir.
I understand that you love being in this band. That you're one of the most popular guys in the group.
That's what I've been told. Yeah.
We got the big thunder.
I mean, I got 10 Facebook friends. They all tell me that.
Yeah. Mike, you and I met in what year?
Oh, my gosh. It was 84.
1984.
Yeah.
Bloodgood was playing with.
You got to play
Baron
the
Cross
sports arena parking lot.
Yeah, the sports arena
Yeah,
where
you
the
and
San
Baron
Diego
Cross.
Chargers play. Yeah, we got the gig there. We get
Padres.
down there, and we're actually in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And there's a tailgate party. There's a couple guys there. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was rocking young, man. It was like
Yeah. Oh.
It was great.
a long time ago. Probably eternal destiny. Because we know where we're going. You know, that's our destiny, eternal heaven. So I like that. I love playing it because I get to play heavy and hard there,
Awesome.
bringing on the thunder. But all I want to say is I haven't seen these guys in a while, and it's been a great weekend seeing them again. I got to play, go over some songs, and just had a good time. And
Awesome.
hopefully I'll see them again when you people call in to want us for some gigs, you know.
Maybe a second album coming up, George?
So I am
Hold your breath.
I'm gonna hit the road. Love you guys. Les, thank you, and Adele, thank you for everything and your family. And I will see you guys on the road.
So here it is, Eternal Destiny by Recon.
All the music you hear on Frontline Rewind episodes is available on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, and our own website, frontlinerecords.us.
We all wrote the songs, but George took the credit for them all. So
All right, praise God, George.
No.
That was Eddie,
Yeah.
the peacemaker.
No, we actually all sat down and George, of course, wrote most of all the songs, but we did have some say so when we were practicing in the practice room, and we all sat down. There was a couch in there, I think, at one point, and we just kind of threw around ideas and kind of pieced together like a puzzle some words that still need to be wrote for the songs, and that way, and that's how we completed them. And we all kind of threw our ideas around, and whatever fit stuck, and that's what made it to the album.
Yeah.
Writing wise, first song we ever wrote together was Alive, and Ronson and I wrote it, and I think Ved helped too. So that was like the very first song, and then we actually went from there. I think that's how it started.
Yeah, actually, Alive was, I think we pretty much wrote it in the garage, in our rehearsal space, and I think we wrote it like within an hour or so. It was actually we moved pretty quickly through that song.
Yeah. Do you think the garage had anything to do with it? Because you
No,
could back out. So do you guys want to hear Alive right now?
Yeah, let's hear
Absolutely.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Alive.
But in the end,
what was really cool is our, when we first got together, I think the chemistry was really good, and we just, I kind of had a sense of what the vision was that George had for the band and where it was going. When I met George, I think I was 16 or 17 years old, and I had auditioned for a band that he started called Prophet. And so I had a friend drive me all the way out to Hollywood, and went to George's house, and I auditioned, went to a couple rehearsals, and I realized that I had to take a bus all the way down to Glendale to rehearse, it wasn't working out, and we kind of faded out and disconnected, didn't really talk too much, and then it was, I don't know, about maybe 2 years later, George and I reconnected through a band that I was playing with called Royal Priesthood, and I think Johnny. Did you ever? I also knew Johnny in high school. We went to high school together, and before Johnny even played drums, I think you would talk about playing the drums. But did you even have a kit back then?
I did play drums. But
yeah, you did. But you're very humble about it. You didn't let anybody know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And he still is.
Yeah, but he's still very humble, and but through Royal Priesthood, I reconnected with George again, and we started writing together. And
Alive was the first one.
Yeah,
the first song that you guys wrote together for this album, anyway.
For this album, yeah, and then Take Us Away came in. Was actually written earlier when I was with Royal Priesthood. But then George came in and helped me with the bridge and a couple of parts there.
But I think a lot of times, and maybe you guys could agree with me on this, it seems like projects start with something good, something that does come like you described, how it just kind of came to you,
right?
And then from there, that was the beginning step that it took to make an album like this. So,
well, I'd have to mention. Were you gonna say something? I'd have to mention that a lot of this really sprouted out of Sanctuary. We all went to Sanctuary, and which was the rock and roll church. I'm sure you guys have heard of it.
Yes.
A lot of people, and I'm not taking anything away from Bob Beeman, but a lot of people think that Bob Beeman started, and he really didn't. Steve Valdez started the church out of Whittier. And, the Lord ultimately started, obviously, but he used Steve Valdez. So Steve Valdez was one of Stryper's roadies for a long time. And what ended up happening, how Sanctuary started, the Rock and Roll Refuge, we called it, was all these people started coming to Christ at Stryper shows. So they didn't have a place to go. They felt displaced as Christians. I mean, kind of looking the way they looked and blah, blah, blah. Everybody had the poofy hair and the rock and roll garb on. And so he started a Bible study. And the Bible study got so big that they turned it into a church and started meeting at a church in Whittier. And that's how Sanctuary got started. And I still remember the first meeting that Steve and I, because I started working with Steve actually in Whittier, where we actually sat down with Bob Beeman, and he was kind of going to be the overseer of Whittier for a while, and just kind of be the overseer for the staff of the church that we were meeting at. Because we met in a church we started church at 2:00 in the afternoon. So it was after the regular service people were there and left, and then the stragglers, rock and rollers would come in.
Just after
church.
after
it's kind of a funny scene. At that point, Bob wasn't even really directly involved with Sanctuary. We had our thing going. It was mainly Steve Valdez, and then which again came out of a Tribal Bible study. It grew from there, and then Bob really started getting involved, and then he branched off and started South Bay, and then from there another church branched off, and we started Hollywood, Sanctuary Hollywood, and I don't want to talk about this guy, but I'll just mention that Roger Martinez was the pastor of that church, and we'll just leave it at that.
Well, we did another show on that, so
yeah.
Everybody knows from that.
Yeah, but anyways, so Sanctuary, I mean, really, Recon kind of sprouted from Sanctuary Hollywood, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Actually, we met at Whittier.
That's good to know.
And we met at Whittier, and then ultimately we moved to Hollywood a little bit later. Recon was already started by that point. Started in Whittier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, maybe I'm getting old, so I don't remember exactly how to...
But
Okay.
I want to jump in for a second because I was kind of part of that movement as well. And that's what was happening
sure
with
you
all
were.
of us. There were so many of us, players and people that God had given talents to do, and then all of a sudden it's this hard rock, heavy metal stuff, and this whole movement. And so that's how Recon was caught up in that, from Sanctuary and from what was going on. So this is the fruit of God's movement on
Let's
us.
go back. Let's take it back, obviously, to even Stryper. I mean, Stryper, when they started Yellow and Black Attack, and then the
Absolutely.
Bible study, and the Bible study turned into Sanctuary, and then Sanctuary. I mean, so many bands sprouted from that.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Vengeance, Deliverance. We're talking so many bands. If you just keep going,
And the
that kind of
phenomenal
sprouted from
thing
that.
is that it really didn't just happen in Southern California. It was happening in Seattle. It was happening in the Midwest. It was happening in Norway and Sweden. God just did this whole big all over the world.
And what's
Amazing.
happening now? Now it's international, right?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
international. Here we are again.
The Lord
Still
did.
alive.
I mean, it's just like it would spread like wildfire, really. If you really think about it, you know.
I actually, originally, I tried out for Recon as a vocalist. Do you remember that?
I actually don't.
You don't?
I don't remember that.
This is Eddie.
Yeah, this is Eddie.
With good reason.
Well, at the time, I was going to
Maybe I blocked that out of my memory.
Just kidding.
I blocked that out of my
I
memory.
was going to Holy Soldier Bible Study, and I was supposed to try out. They just dropped Robbie, the original singer from Holy Soldier, and then I was going to try out to sing for Holy Soldier, and then they had this whole red tape that they had to go through in order to try out, and the tryout was probably a few weeks out, and George, I don't know, I forgot our conversation, but he said, well, we need a vocalist, and I could set up something this weekend. And so I said, okay. So he gave me a song. I believe it was Breakout. I think it was that song, but it didn't have the vocals, lyrics to it. He told me to write some lyrics to it and see if I could write and sing as well. So that weekend I tried out. They rented a studio and I tried out, and it didn't work out. He said, not
Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, not really what
least
we're
he
looking
doesn't
for.
remember it, so he blocked it out.
But he goes,
Go ahead, George.
he goes, we are looking for a guitar player though. You know any guitar players? And I said, well, I play guitar too as well. And so I tried out again, and the rest is history. That's how I got. That's how I joined.
I don't remember
Recon.
any of that, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that moment in Recon history.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
That's the way it started.
Well, I auditioned
I
for
remember
a
it
cowbell
well.
player,
Yeah, Ron auditioned as a cowbell player.
and I didn't get it. And they said, but we're looking for a singer. And I
Because
said,
we wanted
okay.
more
He
cowbell.
also can provide brain as well.
I didn't get the gig for the cowbell player.
They got the lead vocalist.
But he got the lead vocal position.
So I'm thankful.
You need to work on your cowbell, but your vocals are awesome.
Hey, Ron's actually pretty funny for Argentine, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that once I came into the band, that was one of the songs that caught my attention. The words are so powerful, and I think that a lot of times when as a Christian band presents the word, sometimes it's sugar-coated, and in this case it wasn't, and it really called people to attention that yes, it's true, you are a believer, but you've been fooled by the lame deceiver. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. And it really puts you in a position of re-examining your life. Like, yes, you call yourself a believer, but what else is going on in your life? And kind of what we're talking about before, that anytime that you try to go into the enemy's territory, you're going to get hit. And the Bible says that you don't get hit by things that you don't like. You get hit by things that you do like. So we always need to try to build our fences to protect us so that we can continue doing our ministry. And I think that one of the things that I always saw Johnny doing, with our brother Vet, was always like, hey, dude, how are you? What's going on? When are you coming by? And always checking up on him, trying to, because pretty sure he knows this part, but James tells us that you need to try to save this brother as if you're pulling him out of the fire. So that's a sense of urgency that sometimes we don't have. So not only is a way of listening to the song and examining yourself, but seeing who else is around you and trying to save them. Not judge them, like it's a lot of the cases, but save them as is to save them from the fire. I think that also Jesus talked in Matthew, how is when you talk with the brother is to win your brother. And Jesus and James, both brothers, they have the same sentiment, which is, we're not here to judge you, we're here to save you, to help you, to bring you back into the flock. And I think that Lost Soldier really puts a finger in a very open wound to a lot of people and to all of us as Christians, to watch our steps and to watch our brothers, because this fight is not over yet. We know how it's going to end, but we're still fighting it. So with that said, let's listen to Lost Soldier.
At frontlinerecords.us, we have all kinds of goodies. Artist bios, links to all the music, and a free music offering when you sign up for the newsletter. Check it out, frontlinerecords.us.
So Todd, you originally were going to audition on bass?
Yeah, originally I came in and auditioned on bass, and then started off playing bass. And that kind of morphed into a different band then, and so we kept playing together, but then it wasn't really called Recon anymore, and so Satori we called it.
Is this after Mike left? Is that?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but then so for I think it was about 2002 or so.
That's right, yeah.
Is when Rod came in, and then Mike came back in as bass, and of course Eddie, and then I played keys. So then that was kind of the new Recon, so to speak, at that point.
So it's interesting now that you're playing bass with Worldview. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Well, there you go.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm playing some keys. I won't be playing keys live with Worldview. I'll just be playing bass. But
He's recorded a lot of keyboard parts.
Recorded, yeah. It's funny with Worldview. We got Ronson, George, myself. We're all kind of in there.
So there's a lot of Recon
on
in
keys.
Worldview, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I originally met George and Johnny, and at first it was George and Johnny, and I think Vat was in the band at the time. And
Well, now you just let me interject, and I'll let you take it over. Todd, we're looking for a bass player at the time, Recon, and Todd answered the ad and came and auditioned. And I'll tell you one thing before, I don't want to take up the time, Todd. I want to let Todd to talk, but I will say this for Todd. I gave him the songs to learn, and he came into the audition and nailed them. I mean, wow, this guy did his homework, you know. He got the job immediately, obviously. So go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, and that was back before the internet. I think, what was the magazine called? Music Connection or something like that.
Yeah.
So I answered an ad and came in. I still remember the day, coming into the garage and meeting everyone, and yeah, it was just from there on spread out, met everyone else as well. But we played some shows, I can't quite remember, but then it morphed into a different band and what have you. And it was when Rod came into the picture then, and George said, "Hey, you want to play keys?" And I was like, "Well, absolutely." So, and I think Ronson,
I was raising kids.
You were raising kids and stuff,
Yeah.
and then so then I was like, "Okay, I'll play some keyboards," and we did some really cool shows. We did the Cornerstone. We did
The first Mardi Gras we did on
the
keys.
Mardi Gras.
That was amazing.
A coffee shop somewhere down.
Angel City.
Angel City. Yep. So, anyways, that's kind of how I came into the whole picture. I'd have to say my favorite song is Dreams because it's so melodic. Playing keys and stuff, and I just love the progression and the melody of the song. I really enjoy playing it.
So would you introduce the song for us then?
So we are about to hear Dreams.
Be sure to check out Frontline Records' YouTube channel for exclusive live performances recorded right here on our Frontline Rewind shows.
What's the name of the
Oh,
song?
forget that.
Light the Fire.
Light the Fire.
Okay, here it goes.
Originally on California Metal Volume 2.
A bonus track on this CD release is Light the Fire, which is one of the first songs we actually also wrote in Recon. And for various reasons, it didn't make the record, the actual record, but we put it on this re-release because, it was a part of our repertoire. It was in our set.
Yeah.
Originally on California Metal.
Cal Metal 2, we released it. That's how much we thought of the song because it was one of the two songs to represent the band. I don't know what I can say about that song. It's other than it's just a fast, hard rocking song with a lot of good melody. That's got some piercing high vocals on it.
Yeah.
That are killer, and I think that's what made. Honestly, I could talk about my guitar playing, talk about Johnny's great drumming, Grato's great guitar playing, Eddie's infamous rhythm playing, and some lead, Ronson's magical keyboard playing. But the bottom line is people were drawn to Recon because of Ved's vocals mainly. I mean, it's like, wow, this guy can sing high and he's, and it's killer. So I'm giving Ved a lot of props here. That song really showcases Ved. And we recorded those songs at Pachyderm Studios with the Elefantes. And they were really, I'm going to give you a quick praise on Johnny for that. I still remember John Elefante walking in the room and going, wow, you guys use a drum machine for this, huh? And we're going, why do you say that? He goes, the drums are dead on. I mean, that can't be a person playing. I go, no, that's Johnny playing the drums. He goes, wow. Hats off to you, Johnny, because he was actually, here's John Elefante praising us, going, yeah, and John Elefante ended up singing all the backgrounds to the Dream song we did for that, too. And it was fun working with Mike Moreau, which is one of the engineers at Pachyderm, Dino Elefante, and John Elefante. That was a really good experience. You guys have anything else to say about Light the Fire?
One of the most challenging songs I ever had to sing.
Great song to play live.
Sing very well.
It's fast, a lot of harmonies. I think it's one of Recon's best songs.
It was actually one of the funnest song to play live because everybody, the crowd just got into the chorus and sang along, and it was really fun to be a part of that.
So why don't we listen to it?
You guys love this, so let's hear.
Let's listen.
Light the fire!
So, George, we're celebrating 25 years of Recon. Your album, Behind Enemy Lines, released on Frontline Records 25 years ago. Amazing.
Totally amazing. We're excited to do this with Rocks Productions.
Great. They're releasing both vinyl and CD, and the CD has some bonus goodies, right?
Yeah, we have the original 10 songs from the record, 2 songs from Cal Metal 2, and we remixed and remastered our original demo. So there's some goodies there.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. If you didn't pre-order yours, go to roxproductions.com. That's ROXX productions.com. Get your copy.
Okay, George, we're going to play together, man.
That's right.
Now, when is it?
April 23rd. It's a Saturday night, so
2016.
2016.
Coming up soon.
That's right.
Who's on the bill?
It's going to be Bloodgood, Worldview, Join the Dead, which is Mike Phillips' band, and Wicked's End. So it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't miss it. Let me give you some info on the show.
Okay.
It's going to be at Newport Church in Newport at 2727 Campus Drive, Irvine, California, 92612. Why did I give the zip? Oh, well. Now, if you need more info, go to our website, and that'll give you the flyer, www.worldviewmetal.com, worldviewmetal.com. The very next night,
The 24th. Whiskey A Go-Go.
Whiskey A Go-Go.
Striper and Worldview.
We'll be playing with Striper at the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood, California. And again, it'll be on our website, so you guys can check that out, www.worldviewmetal.com. We'd hope to see you at both the shows, but at least come to one of them. You can't miss this guy at the Saturday night show. So we'll see you there.
Thanks, George. All right. Well, once again, I just really enjoyed myself hanging out with the guys from Recon. I mean, like 7 dudes, music all around me. I mean, melodies, rhythms, guitar, great singers, great songs. What a day. Awesome. This is Les Carlsen saying goodbye till second episode. See you then. Frontline Rewind.